What's good, everybody? It's Cortland. Call me Cort for short. Well, we're checking in with you guys from the underground. And I've got a question to ask you all today. And prefacing all this is a question that's near and dear to my heart. It's near and dear to who I am as a person. So, humor me. Why is everybody trying to be a nerd all of a sudden in 2025? And I don't just mean like, the stereotypical stuff like, saying that they want to join, watching anime or reading manga, that surface level stuff. No. People are really fully committed. Like cosplay, esports, streaming, the hunt for 90s and 80s memorabilia, Reddit threads, and Discord. Like, so let's really talk about it. Are nerds finally winning in 2025, or have we been winning all along? So nerd culture and nerd spaces, they've always been a safe space and provided belonging for, people like myself, nerds. And as we look around the world today, there are a lot of social spaces that don't even really try to offer that to people anymore. But nerd communities, we've got that just naturally, and we've actually kind of had that forever. Yeah, we didn't have the best PR back then.
Did I do that?
Let's rewind. Back in the 80s and the 90s, being a geek meant you were either a punchline or a punching bag. Pocket protector, bullying, four eyes, all that tired, outdated nonsense. But somewhere along the line, the world shifted. Tech exploded. Gaming became an $180 billion industry. Comics became billion-dollar movies. Anime became mainstream, and suddenly, it's like someone woke up and was finally like, wait a second, these dudes, these nerds, they might be onto something. We might want to figure out what they got going on over there, right? Nerds went from pocket protectors to protecting digital assets, right? And that's definitely progress. But here's the real reason for the rise, in my opinion, right? Fact-based, obviously, but it's still my opinion. Nerd spaces celebrate individuality. Weirdness is welcome. People are encouraged to be themselves, and that creates emotional safety, right? Belonging, vulnerability. And honestly, name 5 places today where that exists. I think you stopped at 2. I'm pretty sure you stopped at 2. Right? And it's funny how folks who used to roast you are now watching Naruto and are buying the fits. Listen. And I can't pinpoint the exact moment where no nerd culture fused with pop culture, but I can tell you what most likely fueled it. And that was the tech boom, right? It was the internet. It was shit like Star Wars and Harry Potter and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Just them dominating in entertainment, anime distribution going global, right? Gaming becoming mainstream, and social media pushing niche communities to the forefront and into the spotlight. Growing up a nerd wasn't really cool yet when I was growing up a nerd. And now anyone can just slap on some glasses and call themselves what I am. But let's keep it real for a second. People who've lived this life since childhood, those of us, you know who you are out there. You know who you are out there. We can really tell who's cosplaying being a nerd and actually who is one. We can tell. And that's okay. go ahead, continue being fake, continue pretending, continue using the name and the likeness to your benefit, but real recognize real. There's a shift that I'm sensing in the near future is coming. We might already be here, or it's pretty damn close if it's not here yet. And the reason why I'm sensing this shift and even saying this and bringing it out is because I think people are tired. I think people are tired of negativity, people are tired of drama, and people are tired of drama spaces, right? And tired of fake communities, right? And just as a lifetime nerd, I'm telling you, the internet is about to change. It's definitely about to change. People are in a place in life where they're actually seeking and desiring and prioritizing real connection. Not clout, not arguments, not algorithm clickbait shit that is populating our feeds and our timelines on insert social media application. And guess who's been training for this their entire lives? It's actually us nerds. We're ahead of the curve when it comes to this. Right? Now, let me tell you exactly how nerds are built for this world that we're walking into. Number one, nerds build things, right? We look at things, we see potential, we learn the systems, and we actually want to figure out the what and the why and the how behind something. And that's the inspiration that we need to start building. 2, nerds admit what they don't know. And that's just simply being humble enough and knowledgeable enough to understand what you do know and what you don't know. And it's that ability to operate efficiently in both of those things that allows us to even bring forth anything and evolve anything that we're actively working on. And we actually think in teams. And this that was point number 2, but this is point number 3, going into point number 3 rather. Nerds think as a team once you get a bunch of nerds together. And the group matters, right? The mission matters. And us all succeeding in the mission together is what actually helps nerds stay together. And when you get that group of nerds together, right, we actually all think very differently. And so it's that mixture of unorthodox ideas backed with logic, data, different experiences that leads to the outputs that we actually really desire. And the 5th and final point I think that matters is we're not emotion driven. And that's really what's been driving the world, at least for the last 15 years of my life, especially as an adult. I've seen a lot of emotion driven people making decisions and talking and giving the microphone, shut up, just stop talking. Because that is counterproductive to building. We don't talk about our feelings. We build a 3D simulation with our feelings. And we worry about the emotions later, right? And it sounds kind of funny, but it's actually really true. Most nerds actually believe the world will be better if the people are better. And if the people are better, we'll feel better. Going back to emotions. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, damn, he's actually talking about me, you're probably wondering, how do I find the nerds like me? There's a trick. Just look for the people around you that are building. Not the people who gossip, not the people who revolve around chaos and actually are driven and drawn to it. Not people who treat drama and confusion as entertainment. Nerds thrive in places that reward creativity, curiosity, and growth. And if you're in a room full of people who don't want to do that, you're not in a nerd space. You're just visiting a drama dump. So, the opportunity ahead for us is actually really huge and pivotal. 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 Not pivotal. Most people today are actually being pushed towards division and weakness. Nerd culture actually does the opposite of that. It rewards curiosity, it rewards asking questions, it rewards expanding knowledge, and even sharing it. And that's really, I think, one of the biggest things in areas that where we're suffering as a people in today's world is we're not sharing knowledge. We're just not doing it. So we got AI, innovation, digital worlds, creative industries, uh, tech literacy, systems thinkings, right? These are all nerd domains. Like, when I first launched this channel, I really didn't know exactly what the purpose of it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, some hosting gaming and all that stupid shit. Well, let me not say that about gaming, because gaming is definitely not stupid. I'm definitely an advocate of it. But I actually really just thought about just putting some nonsensical content up. And I think that's where the disconnect and why it took so long actually just to kind of figure out my voice and figuring out what to say, what to talk about. Not just what to say, just what matters to me. I'm a gamer. I'm an amateur artist, and I mean very strongly on the amateur part of the artist. I'm a father and, hope to be a husband again one day. And I'm someone that has always felt like I've lived my life on the outskirts. Not to say that I haven't enjoyed being on the outskirts, but just obviously identifying the truth of my life. I'm an outsider. And I know also now at this point in my life that even though I am an outsider, I'm not alone in that. And that's what this space is for. It's for the outsiders, it's for the internet refugees. I'm coining that phrase. This space is for people who really don't fit in, where you're supposed to fit in. This space is for people that consider themselves niche thinkers, world builders, and again, just outsiders. It's 3 o'clock. We get notifications at 3 o'clock where I'm at. And if you've ever been called a nerd, genuinely, not the trendy kind of nerd, congrats. You're actually built for the new world. And subscribe to the page, like this video, and help me build this world that is for us. So, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you. Stay sharp, stay weird, stay curious, and keep nerding. This is Cortland, Court for short, checking in from the underground. I'm going back underground. Peace.